G'day, everybody. Alaba Jones here. Today we're joined by another team member, Leanie, who's been flying with us for 2 years now or something like that. Yeah, and she just makes wonderful contributions to the show, to everything we do.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me, Alvar.
And so today we did a big mission about dreams. Now, I know that since we've pushed the great nothing out of our sector of the universe, that the nature of our flights has changed wildly. And one of the things that we probably should have touched on ages ago, but never did, was dreams. And so, but this is not my specialization. This is not something, I'm not the best person to explain it to you. So I'm going to hand it over to Crystal and she can tell you how it went.
Well, it's been an interesting journey, that's for sure. And recently we did a mission where we touched base with some indigenous cultures, and we kind of found ourselves in the middle of like a tribal council meeting where they were like, who are you? What are you doing here? And it was like right around the time that we were working with the energies of kind of rebooting things is how I see it going down with working with the Great Nothing and all of that kind of architecture. And so it's like this ancient rehabilitation in a way for Gaia and humanity. It's like really large scale. And so we've learned a lot. We have a lot of tools in our tool belt. And when we found ourselves in this tribal meeting, it was a long kind of conversation and negotiation around who we are and why we're qualified to like help to resolve the political I don't even know what the right word for it is, but there were a lot of tribes that were kind of in disagreement and disharmony. And so, like, what makes us the right people to come along and help to unify that? And so it was a lengthy negotiation, but we made some great progress, and we were kind of able to exchange information and exchange some help there, where we helped them to kind of reorganize and clear up their song lines, and then they kind of, we witnessed them to kind of practice those skills. And so it kind of got us down this road of working with the Dreamtime, because in that process, we were able to collect contracts to reinstate their access, the indigenous access to the Dreamtime realms. And so it's kind of a big deal, like for their culture. Is there anything else you want to say about that?
Yeah. Look, we did go through Dream Realms in a big way, and that negotiation, they let us tinker with Uluru, with that big rock in the middle of Australia, which is a massively contentious issue, I might just say. As an Australian, it's something you hear about in mystical circles. And generally speaking, us whiteys just don't go near the thing. Just don't play with it, is the rule of thumb, right? But we were lucky that they let us do the work on Uluru, and they were watching very closely. And then they came and joined us doing the work, doing the same procedure in Glastonbury, in the UK. So glad that went well. I was kind of spooked because I do hear some absolute nightmare stories about getting on the wrong side of those guys, of the Aboriginal Australians. So in the end, though, we ended up working through dreams. Like today's mission was a lot of it was about dreams. And what we found is that the dark side, whereas the dreamscape should be an open field, a wondrous play area, they've turned it into a maze or a labyrinth or like a rabbit's warren. And it was just, and so it took us a while to remove those restrictions. And I also caught up with one of my favorite guys, the Demon Lord Nightmare. and he had like at least 1 billion minions in people. And over the course of an hour and a half, I removed them all from all the people and churned him up. And you know, the thing is, when we kill a demon lord like that, the problem is that he always comes bloody well back. And the answer to the question, like, what the hell's actually going on? Why do we think we killed him and then he's still there? And the answer, I hate to say it, is Horcruxes, or at least I'm using the word Horcruxes, which is a Harry bloody Potter word. But you know, like they think of themselves as computer software, and so they put a little bit of themselves on a cold storage wallet or a little hard drive, and a big battery so they can fuel it up and give birth to themselves. And then they stick it in a pocket dimension and just isolate it out of existence. And you know, with the god Nightmare, there were thousands and thousands of damn things. So he's dead. I don't think he's dead, double dead, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. But there was some incredible infrastructure about harvesting nightmares, harvesting loosh from dreams, about sending out a beacon of panic or fright or scariness or horror or whatever it is, and then just seeing which people in the dreamscape come to them, getting hold of them, and just really, what's the word I'm going to use? Milking them for all of the nasty they could get out of them. Yeah, and we took all that infrastructure out, and we also took Nightmare to court and took his rights to the dream world off him, which is pretty fascinating. But what was going on with those dream gates at the end? Because like I was a bit pooped by that stage of the fight. How did that story go?
Yeah, so well, in working with the indigenous, we like initiated a multi-dimensional healing process for past soul fragmentation and like the imposed narratives of victimhood and like all of the sadness and everything that came along with that. And so we're kind of unraveling all of the stories of the eons of just grief and you know, nightmare-ish type of templates that have plagued us for a really long time. And um, so in reversing kind of the process of reversing that, it becomes about empowering all of Earth's lineages to really retrieve their sovereign dream codes as we regain access to those realms. And so restoring the organic pathways of lucid dreaming and astral travel for the entirety of the collective was a big part of that. But then at the end, there's these things called harmonic dream gates that were introduced that kind of act as a bridge to really our higher capacity as multidimensional beings is the way I was seeing it. And so opening those up and allowing the energy to flow through the organic templates really empowers the ability for the collective soul healing to just really continue to flush that out, like layer by layer through the collective unconscious as we, you know, work towards that healing for everybody on a higher scale.
Winner. I love that. Yeah, I wasn't involved. You know, our team specializations are really sort of starting to come out, and this is one that I wasn't really up to date with all the technical detail on. But you know, Leanie is all over it, and Leanie does fly her own teams, and she does have her own missions, and you can catch more of that on the YouTube channel Honest Aliens.
That's right.
Yeah. Anything else that we want to say before we say farewell?
Just thank you everybody for watching and supporting our work, and we really appreciate all the prayers and thoughts. We can feel that, and you guys are awesome. And keep watching, and feel free to check us out at Honest Aliens for more different flavor of the same kind of work.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. You've got to say that for every video, Leanie. You've got to say that. That's how it goes. Okay. May the force be with you all. Night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.